The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, staff, management, or advertisers.
Coming to you on stations coast to coast, it's the Makin It radio show with your hosts, self-made millionaires Tommy Runfola and Todd Williams. Tommy Runfola, founder and president of one of America's top technology, consumer products, and media companies. Author, investor, and National Entrepreneur of the Year nominee. Tommy has worked with 5 U.S. presidents and vice presidents. Todd Williams, founder and CEO of Inc. Magazine's 2013 fastest growing food and beverage companies in America. A former NBC TV personality and Harvard Business alumnus. Makin It is the source for success stories and in-the-trenches information that outlines a roadmap to the American dream. And now, here's Tommy and Todd.
Welcome, America. This is Tommy and Todd making it coast to coast, and we are so happy to have you join us today. So what's going on today, Todd? How you feeling? How you looking?
Feeling good.
And you're looking good, man.
Spring is here. I'm liking it.
Yes. Brittany, how are you today?
I'm good.
All right. So what's going on, Brittany?
All right. Well, we are discussing on our Showbuzz segment first what's hot in startups. So we'll get to that in a second. Then we are talking about what happens when you are the accounting firm that is responsible for awarding somebody an Oscar, and then you have to tell them, oops, sorry, my bad.
I'm looking forward to getting an Oscar, and they better give it to me when I actually earned it.
I don't want to be in charge of their PR at that point. Then lastly, we are, first we have the Doubt Whisperer in there, which is Tommy.
That's what's going to get my Oscar.
That's what's going to get your Oscar, your performance.
For the Doubt Whisperer.
Yeah.
Tommy Runfola.
Doubt Whisperer.
And then you get up there and you say, I had a lot of doubt I would get this award, but
I didn't think I was going to get it, but here I am.
got it.
I'll have to whisper that. I had a lot of doubt about this. Feeling good now.
All right. And then
the raspy whisperer.
Lastly, we're discussing, is it ever too old? Are you ever too old to start over? Is it ever too late to start over?
It's never too late to get your first Oscar.
Well, don't spoil it. We're not there yet.
Making It Showbuzz.
The show's literally called This Week in Startups.
I like this one.
Todd?
Well, this is a, now we're discussing, off show about how you like, more raw information about entrepreneurship. Of all the shows that we've reviewed, this is probably the most raw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because these are just, the concept is a rotating group of guest experts. Entrepreneurs come on like Travis Kalanick for Uber, the founder and CEO of Uber, Tim Ferriss, just a lot of these top entrepreneurs. They come on and he interviews them. They're just sitting on 2 chairs, on a stage in front of an audience, much like if you went to a big expo or trade show kind of thing, and they're talking. It's very candid. They really get more in depth about what their companies struggled through and what they're doing now. It's casual. It's real. Since it's an online only show, it's unedited.
Right.
Yes.
And so I think
and
that
they don't have to cater as much to advertisers.
Yeah, you do have to be, I think, more of an actual entrepreneur to benefit it. This is not like a lot of reality shows are almost like entrepreneur porn.
Right.
People just look on there and go like, I would imagine if I have an idea that I would get accepted by the Sharks,
it's the
or
pretty version.
I would win the contest on, some show, or I could make $1 million. But this is more like you're really in the trenches being an entrepreneur.
Right. Yeah. You know what I liked about it was that they discuss everything. You already said that, but I tuned into a show. They were talking about the Trump deportation process and whether Obama was actually wiretapping Trump and so on. And, they don't hold anything back. They're talking about it all.
I like that, Todd pretty much summed it up, that they get really raw. I like that they're not just telling, like the historical timeline story of how they started their business.
Right.
And then we did this and then we did that. I like that, they touch on what the real stress points were in that whole experience. And also, people have this misconception that after you've made it, quote unquote, that you're done and that it's just smooth sailing and it's an easy ride. And, and then you retire and then you're sitting on money and, like there's some making it point and then you're done. You might as well check out. But I like that they get into detail on topics such as re-motivating yourself, re-finding your passion, getting back to the basics in your business and finding out, how to not let your business get stale and how to not let it start going downhill. And they talk about, some of the real emotions that they're experiencing and some of the real life states that they're experiencing in their business and just in their lives as far as accomplishment. And they also talk about these things in a preventative way, looking ahead and saying, okay, well, here's where my business is at. Here's where I think the market and the industry is going. And here's where I'd like to go. Yeah. So really imagining, which is what entrepreneurism is really about, imagining that next state you want to get to and that next state you want to create and hopefully doing it ahead of the curve so you're not a victim of whatever circumstances may come.
Yeah. They had the CEO of Uber on, Travis Kalanick, and they were talking about an argument that he got into with an Uber driver and those kinds of things. I was really raw, and it's really what people want to hear.
Right.
They're not interested in the stock prices and all of that stuff. They want to know the nitty gritty, the down and dirty.
Well, these are all the nitty gritty things that affect the stock prices. So these are the real details.
I think startups are like a diet. One of the hardest things in business is starting.
Right.
And so this show is dedicated to starting up.
Right.
And if you can overcome the hump of procrastinating or avoiding starting, you actually can get started in the business. I mean, there are millions of people out there say, I dream of starting my own business. I dream of starting. They never start it.
Well, there's just never that perfect day.
Yeah. Start with $500. Start it. Start with $100.
Right.
Starting a business, in my mind, is all about the struggle. And they talk about that a lot on the show, about the struggle. And we tend to believe when a business has made it, and particularly made it big, that they really don't have struggles anymore, or sometimes that they never had struggles to begin with. And it's just not true.
I mean, people think that, it's just money. And, they have money now, so they're not going to have any problems.
Right.
But really, it's about the intelligence and the skill behind the money.
Right.
Because money can disappear as fast as you get it.
Absolutely.
If the intelligence and the skill is inferior.
Sure.
Right.
And so this show is giving you information to up your intelligence, your entrepreneurial intelligence.
Yes.
And help you make better decisions.
Yes.
So you go from startup and you become a long-term, long-lasting business with a legacy.
These guests really tend to be our mentors.
Yes.
Because they just they've been through it, and they want to pass on the intelligence and the lessons they've learned.
So it's an online show. It's very candid. It's very casual. It's like you're sitting there and you're just learning by listening to two entrepreneurs talk, and so it's really good. That's it for this segment. We're going to return to Makin It with Tommy and Todd, Coast to Coast. We'll be right back.